When I tell you how long I've been wanting to make this video, whew, corporate America, let's talk about it. I'm leaving. Bye. Sayonara. Won't miss ya. I believe corporate America is honestly one of the biggest scams that you could possibly get yourself into if you live in the US. Keep in mind, all of these are my thoughts and opinions. If you don't agree with me, that's perfectly fine. If you enjoy working in corporate America, then this video is definitely not going to be for you. I just want to explain why I think working in corporate America is a scam. I am so sick and tired of working for someone else, and for me, this has just never worked out very well. I have tried and tried and tried, and I just have realized that it's not for me. I have always been someone that's really struggled to stay in a role without getting laid off or being terminated unexpectedly. I am just really tired of it, and I want something, and I need something that's gonna be more stable, something that I'm gonna have more control over, and working in corporate America will not satisfy that requirement for me. Corporate America and working in its environment has never been good to me. I have said enough is enough, and now I am leaving, and I want to share why I think this is a scam. I feel like the opinions of people who believe working for corporate America is a scam are mostly going to come from millennials and Gen Z, and maybe Gen X, like the younger version of Gen X. Younger generations are catching on to how corporate America treats its employees. People are waking up. We are realizing that these companies treat their employees so badly, they see us as machines, and that we are simply just not human, and that our lives do not revolve around our job. And companies want to make us believe that. Our identity is not just based off what we do for a living. Some people may choose to identify with their employment and their career, and that's fine, but not everyone thinks that way. We are catching on to the bullshit of corporate America and how it is not good to their employees and how they don't treat us like real people. We are advocating more for better pay transparency. Listen, I'm glad that there are more laws centering around pay transparency, and more salary requirements have to be listed in the job description. No more surprises. But people will now not apply to jobs or respond to recruiters if there is no salary listed in the advertisement or outreach message. People are really advocating for themselves, and they're saying, hey, I need to be paid my worth. This is what I'm looking or expecting to make. Oh, you don't meet those requirements? Sorry, I can't work for you. And it's not a matter of entitlement. It's a matter of the fact that we've been doing this for years now. Our pay is not reflecting that, and we deserve better. And I don't think that's entitlement at all. If you've been working your ass off and you have been dedicated and you've showed a great work ethic and you perform really well, I do believe that your pay should reflect that, especially as you develop years and years of experience, but never pays off. We are also starting to prioritize our mental health more. And I feel like at jobs, mental health has never been prioritized. They work people like a dog day in and day out, and we're fed up. If anything, the pandemic has really taught us the importance of mental health. Like, if we were to talk about working in corporate America in 2015, where people weren't talking about mental health as much, obviously that would tell us that we have just been victims. We've been drinking the Kool-Aid of corporate America. Now, again, we are waking up, we are prioritizing mental health, and we are telling off these companies, hey, you need to treat us like real human beings, and our mental health is affecting our ability to work and perform well for you. We are putting our foot down, and we are just literally waking up and seeing through corporate America's bullshit. And I am so proud of my generation and Gen Z, and we're gonna keep advocating for ourselves because we are tired and we are fed up. I just went on a whole tangent there, but as you can see, like, I really am this upset about how corporate America has treated me, and this is exactly why I am choosing to leave. Let's talk about climbing the corporate ladder, because corporate ladder, who? Don't know her. We have been taught that if we start at an entry-level position, then we just work our way up, we build the years of experience, and then maybe one day we could be CEO of our own company or some C-suite level person. Do you realize that that's really not a thing anymore? And also, so many people don't even want that. Did you know that it's okay to not be a manager? Did you know that it's okay to be an individual contributor for the rest of your life? I will tell you that I never, ever, ever wanted to be in a management role or a director role or even be a C-suite level. Never. I was perfectly content with being an individual contributor because all I really cared about was doing my job, doing it well, getting paid for it, and then going home or basically stepping away from my computer because I've been working remotely the past few years, and then going on about my day and enjoying it. It is very hard to grow in your company now. And I feel like a lot of companies just play favorites, and anyone who's not a part of that little bubble is not going to get the growth that they're looking for unless they really feel like they have to advocate for themselves. Because if you don't advocate for yourself, then you'll never get to where you want. Now, I do believe you should advocate for yourself, but some people feel like they really have to advocate and work and really try to sneak past this little favoritism bubble just so they can get their hard-earned work recognized and get a pay increase that they deserve. People are also getting promotions when they don't deserve it. And I think that also makes people feel very discouraged when that person should have been the one to get that promotion over the person who probably didn't do much to earn it. Because again, favoritism. It's a very rigid environment. I don't believe that growth opportunities are as abundant as they once were. And again, we're catching on, and that's why people are leaving their companies and applying to new jobs so they can get that growth opportunity or that better pay increase, because it has been proven that if you stay at a company for as long as you believe, you're only gonna get like a very small pay increase. How is that fair? So listen, I can't speak for every single corporate environment here, but I do believe that corporate America environments just fucking suck. They suck. Oh my God. If you're in a startup, work-life balance barely exists because these smaller, newer companies have to constantly keep operating just to stay alive. I believe people who are constantly grinding and are literally jumping on this hustle culture bandwagon are the ones who are either delusional or they are simply just blinded. They don't realize that this is gonna have negative consequences in the long run. Always grinding and believing that you have to hustle and work long hours is the true path to success. I'm sorry, but I don't agree with that. I believe you can be just as successful by prioritizing a healthy work-life balance and still showing a very strong work ethic by setting those boundaries. Corporate America wants to believe you have to not set boundaries to get ahead in life. I'm sorry, but I think that's bullshit. I do believe that working in an office 5 days a week creates a lot more stress. So many jobs are going back to the office 5 days a week, or they're even creating a hybrid model, which lots of people are now preferring, and that's totally fine. People don't want to commute to their jobs anymore. People are tired of sitting in traffic. The fact that it takes them maybe 30 to 40 minutes just to commute to their office if they have to drive. More cities in the US are car dependent, and there's only a small handful of cities where there is thriving public transportation where you don't need a car. And sometimes even then, when you're relying on public transportation, your commute can even be longer. And it's draining, and people are just fed up with that kind of environment, and they are dreading going to the office 5 days a week. It raises their anxiety, it causes them to resent their company, and their mental health deteriorates, and it creates a lot of stress. So the fact that employers now are going back to their old ways now that the pandemic times are over, it's starting to make people's lives more miserable again. And I'm sorry, like, I hate to tell you this, but your company They don't give a shit about you. There is no such thing as loyalty. You can be as loyal to a company as much as you want, and they could still kick you to the end of the curb. I feel like also a lot of corporate environments are becoming so toxic, especially in the tech world. I'm only just speaking from my personal experiences, but it is very hard for me to talk very highly about any of my previous bosses except for one, because they've all been so toxic or they've just been terrible leaders. And I can't tell you how frustrating it is to constantly work for people under terrible leadership who make your environment a living hell for you, who belittle you, make you feel like you're not good enough. You're in environments where everything is very gaslighty. You feel like you're believing one thing and then you find out it's the complete opposite, and just completely makes you question your sanity and what you've been doing at your job the whole entire time. This is why I just hate corporate America, and I feel like companies are so notorious for doing this. So, job security. Let's talk about that. We have been led to believe that once you have a good paying job and as long as you do well, you'll have that job for as long as you want. Bullshit. Job security is a myth. I think the pandemic has taught us that you can lose your job at any given moment. Also, this past year, layoffs have been so huge, especially within the tech world, and it has created a terrible job market, especially for positions that have been impacted by layoffs the most. Recruiting. Like, remember when I talked about loyalty just a second ago? You could be so loyal to your job and they could still fire you at any given moment. You could absolutely get backstabbed by your company who you thought had your back. No, these companies don't care about you. And you know what I really hate is that they don't have to give a shit about you, but you have to give a shit about them. People are waking up and realizing, no, if you don't care about me, why the fuck should I care about you? This is why more and more people are choosing to leave corporate America, or they're choosing to leave their current company to hopefully find a better work environment where they can thrive in. But yeah, job security, LOL. That's just not a thing. I feel like there's only a very small amount of fields where there are job security, but I also believe that those jobs aren't actually part of like corporate America. I feel like if you're working in a trade environment or if you're working in a first responder environment, like that's not corporate America. This one really irks me the most. One thing that I've always hated about corporate America, and again, this is coming from my personal experiences only, but individuality is just not welcomed. I feel like once you start working at a company, you have to feel like a machine. You have to basically turn off your emotions and only be work focused, and that you're not actually allowed to be a human. I cannot tell you how many times I have gotten in trouble at work simply for just being myself, or people mistaking me as being rude when I was never being rude. People always want to say, oh, she was being rude, based off like how I sent a message off in Slack. I was simply just direct and being honest. I'm sorry, you can't handle a direct, confident, honest woman. I still deal with a lot of internalized misogyny from other women that I've worked with, and that shit fucking sucks. I just am tired of not being able to be myself while working at a company. It doesn't feel very welcomed, especially in a startup environment. If you don't adhere to a certain company culture value, you're out the door. It's like they want robots, they want people to all act the same and think the same. People are like, oh, we believe in diversity of thought. Again, I call bullshit, because when diversity of thought comes into the picture, they get the boot. Hi, I'm a victim of that. And then the last thing I want to say is companies, at the end of the day, they're businesses. They're going to care about profits and their shareholders way more than their own employees. I'm sorry, but it's true. I understand. Businesses, they need to make money. I just feel like the whole practices of corporate America and how they treat people is garbage. And how they prioritize different things over the well-being of others, because you wouldn't be making the money and having the success without your employees. And I'm sorry, but just saying a simple thank you for all that you do or giving them a gift card, it's not enough. People are tired of this half-ass appreciation where it just feels ingenuine, we're catching on and we're fucking over it. So now that I've gone off my tangent on why I believe working for corporate America is like a huge scam, you're probably wondering, well, Ilana, what's next for you? If you're leaving corporate America, well, how are you gonna earn money? What are you gonna be doing? So I wanted to share what the next chapter of my life is going to be. While it is still very much a goal of mine to be a full-time content creator, I very well know that I'm not there yet. But I'm so excited to share that at the end of the month, I am going to be going to beauty school at the Aveda Institute in Portland, and I am going to work for my hairstylist license. I've always been into beauty for as long as I can remember, and I've been wearing hair extensions since I was in college, and then when I moved to Portland, I really started to experiment more with like Vivids, and I want to specialize in color and extensions. But I have to learn everything in beauty school to get my license, right? So obviously I'll do haircuts, I'll have to learn how to do a perm, and I'm excited to just really better my skill set in something that I've really enjoyed doing on myself for a while. And you can make a lot of good money being a hairstylist. That is basically what the next step is for me, and I feel like working at a salon isn't corporate America. You're working for a smaller business. Even if it was at a chain, I just still feel like they're franchises, and so I just feel like that's a different environment where I'm not working in an office. I get to have the freedom to be creative, and that is something that I'm so excited about. And I feel like with the things that I want to specialize in, I'm in a good location for that market. People here love to wear Vivids or bleach their hair, and there also is a market for hair extensions, and I'm very excited about that. So I think beauty school is going to be very fun. I am going to be doing beauty school part-time and not full-time because I still will be working my other part-time job because, you know, your girl still has to make money. That's what I'm doing. I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait to show you a little bit more about that later on as I dive deeper into beauty school. I'm not going to be a beauty school channel, but I might make some videos about that from time to time, so I'm super excited about it. So yeah, those are my plans on how I'm leaving corporate America. I hope you can relate to this. If you also hate working for corporate America and you believe it's a scam and you're planning on leaving, comment down below. How else do you think corporate America is a scam, and are you planning on leaving anytime soon? And if you liked this video and it inspired you to want to leave corporate America, do make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video.